to my quirky rides, and you join me today with the Scootacar on this cold morning in the garage where it's not particularly inviting, and I've kind of been putting off this job for some time. We've got a leaky fuel tap, so I bought a new one from PartSmart, the Messerschmitt part supplier, so hopefully I can adapt this Messerschmitt fuel tap to fit. So inside the car, the fuel tap is in a very inaccessible place, so if you can see it just down there. And here's the view from underneath, and I need to get to to undo that fuel pipe there. I don't think I can do this while filming at the same time, so I may have to do this off camera. Anyway, here we go. So I'm just loosening. Well, there is the fuel tap there, and I didn't realise how much petrol there was left in the tank, but I managed to catch most of it anyway. So fuel tap's old and new. This is the one that came off. It's not really all that old, but it's slightly modified from an old Lambretta, but it's a new old stock item, I think. And this is the new one, which is actually from a Messerschmitt. And I've also got this linkage here to save me from grovelling around under the back seat of the Scootacar trying to turn the fuel tap on and off. So we'll see how we get on with that as well. Now this is obviously a different thread. This is where it screws into the tank, and this is a much wider but a much finer thread here, be a metric thread. But then you look at the thread on the new Messerschmitt one, it's a very fine thread, and I thought I had an adapter piece, but it was a while since I fitted this thing. And that's left hand thread, that's right hand thread. So at the moment I can't fit this on the tank. Anyway, I can't do any more with this now, so it'll be stalled for another day or another week, who knows. Another thing I've discovered, that even if the thread was correct and I could screw it into the tank, the Messerschmitt fuel tap is much bulkier. You've got this piece on the side, this banjo fitting, which when I tried to offer it up into the hole of the Scootacar tank, it just fouls the chassis. So there's just no room, obviously, to have it facing the right way. Time for a rethink. Okay, so obviously the other fuel tap doesn't work, but ideally I need to attach this to this so I can use this linkage. Now, what I was thinking was, if I just drill a hole through there, I could then push that through the hole and then put a split pin through there. Okay, so I've got the linkage sort of in place. I've drilled a hole slightly wider. The hole was already there. I've got the choke control there, so that will slide. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to I've put the fuel tap in, I'll have to take it off to line it up with this little ball joint here and then screw it back in. It's a bit fiddly, but there we are. So the saga with the Scootacar fuel tap continues, and the Messerschmitt one is of no use whatsoever. First things first is to fit the new fuel tap to the tank. Here we go. Well, as of desperation and lack of access, I've actually removed the tank from the Scootacar. So this is what a Scootacar fuel tank looks like. It holds about 2.5 gallons, which is about 15 litres, I guess. And there's the fuel tap there, which I'm trying to fit, and it's actually secured, that's the right way up, by, well, it's actually that way around in the car. There's 4 what's called speed screws on each corner, so you don't really have any scope for adjustment, but you can move it slightly. But I thought it'd be easier to remove the whole tank just to make sure that this is fully tight, because some of it's left hand thread. Okay, this job is getting more and more more and more frustrating by the minute. Well, the fuel tank is finally in. It was a right palaver getting that thing in. It's absolutely awful. So the trouble is, it's got a very long filler neck, so you just got no manoeuvrability at all. And there's the hole for the filler. So I just have to fit the rubber tube. Well, I say just. I mean, I can imagine that's going to be tricky. So right, I'm almost done with this job. I think I might call it a day soon anyway. Scootacar's definitely beaten me today, and I'm going to give up on this little project. And I can't get any of these fuel taps to work or tighten properly. They're just too big to go into the space. It's such a poor design. So I'll probably end up just screwing a little kind of coupling in the tank, and then just have an on-off fuel tap and just forget about any kind of remote linkage or even a proper fuel tap. So anyway, that's it for me in this horrible Scootacar. Scootacar has won the day. Hello, and I believe this is probably the third day of messing around with the Scootacar, trying to get the fuel tap situation sorted, and it's not going very well at the moment at all. So I've come upon another solution, which I'll just show you. I bought this recently, and I'm just going to screw this directly into the tank and do away with the fuel tap in the tank, because everything I try is just not working. So, and then I'll have a fuel tap further on down the line, so I can turn on and off from inside the car. I don't make access very easy on this thing. Okay, so there is the spout or connector, whatever you call it. I've just screwed it into the tank there, and I did use a copper washer. It's a 1/4 BSP thread, and it took a 14mm spanner. I suspect it's Chinese, and they tend to use the even numbers when it comes to spanner sizes. Well, finally, I think I may have got it sussed, so let me show you what I did in the end. So it looks a bit Heath Robinson, but I've decided to have it all on this side, because if I have it over here, it's really close to the battery and there's lots of wiring down there, and I just didn't feel comfortable about having fuel lines so close to the battery. Obviously with the original fuel tap it would have been much further back, but because I've mounted it here, it's much nearer the front. So I've put it on this side because, for that reason, for safety reasons. So I've used the Messerschmitt fuel control linkage here, which is good, and this is just an aftermarket fuel tap here. So I will trim those these split pins later on to make it tidy. So I just basically move this round here and turns it on and off. It's just an on off, there's no reserve on this one, but at least this way I can turn it on and off from inside the car without having to fiddle around underneath and lifting the seat up before I want to start it. So I'll just see if it's working and that there's fuel coming in there. So when I turn this on, fuel should be coming into the car. So let me just have a look. So when I turn this on, fuel should be coming out of the end of this pipe. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll just turn this off. So now the fuel has stopped coming in, so I'll just put that back on there. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up here, and thanks for watching this rather protracted video this time. I'm a bit embarrassed to say how much time I've spent on this one. I've got other things to do I need to do as well. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye.